The face of the mysterious force has finally been revealed, finally confirming Zhang Yi's speculation all along. At this moment, it was nightfall, and as Zhang Yi, strapped with a flamethrower, stares at the horde of zombies approaching the shelter from his window. He wasn't the least bit surprised by the night attack. In fact, he expected it. A smile crept on his lips as he prepared himself. "It looks like you guys move your attack tonight," he said. Then, Zhang Yi gathered Uncle Yu, who also happens to be strapped with a flamethrower, Chunlei and Liang Yu, and head outside. In the corridor, Zhang Yi wondered out loud if the zombies had realized that fighting during the day might be easier for their opponents, or if it might be just a coincidence. Whatever, it wouldn't make a difference anyway. Outside, the group poured a considerable amount of gasoline on the snowy ground, forming a sort of barrier in front of them. Now all they had to do was wait for the zombies to cross. However, these undead seems to have gained enough intelligence to know the danger ahead of them, so they dare not approach rashly, let alone cross the barrier made of gasoline. It seems they have indeed gained enough intelligence to avoid an obvious danger. This is bad, but it's also a good thing if you look from a perspective. At least our guess was right. We now know without a doubt that these zombies have learned to gather intelligence. However, there was still one more thing Zhang Yi had to verify. So with a murderous look, he ordered everyone to kill all the zombies present. And under no circumstance are they allowed to let any of them run away, not even one. Zhang Yi then got on Flower, letting the rest know he plans to outflank the zombies, therefore effectively cutting off their retreat. Hearing this, everyone agreed and had no objections or had anything to add. So as the three prepare themselves, Zhang Yi, with Flower, took off to close the zombies' retreat path. Uncle Yu, with a smile on his face, was a little bit excited in killing the group of undead. "Okay, let's kill them all today." Hearing this made Chunlei question what fun was there in killing a bunch of corpses. But Uncle Yu turned to Chunlei and reminded him that this was a good opportunity to practice his skills. And seeing that there are so many zombies offering as living targets, he should be able to sharpen his skills effectively. With this, Chunlei wasted no time. Activating his power, he froze the approaching zombies into ice lollies. Then Liang Yu dashes towards them, and with a single strike from her dragon's roar, she smashed down on the zombies frozen into icicles. Then, the three launch an all-out assault on the zombies on the line. Uncle Yu burns them with his flamethrower at one end, Liang Yu cuts them down on the other, and Chunlei freezes them in the middle. With their large number, it took a while for Zhang Yi to get around them. But when he did, he took out a submachine gun, and wasted no time for the zombies to have a taste as endless rounds of bullets were discharged. The attack from both ends left the zombies in disarray. Zhang Yi got off Flower, and Flower, itching to get in on the action, curled into a massive ball and rolled towards the zombies at high speed. This expected scene was like that of a cannonball. Flower rolled through the zombies like they were nothing, effectively reducing their number. The rest immediately began to retreat. But Zhang Yi saw this and started gunning down the ones intending to flee first. "Are you planning on going back now? If you're already here, why are you in such a hurry to leave?" Zhang Yi said this as he took aim through his tactical scope, then released an endless barrage of bullets. It was like a one-man army. On the other end, Flower was not going to be outdone by Zhang Yi as he smacked several zombies with just a single wave of his paw. A while later, all the zombies were dismantled. Their scattered bodies could be seen everywhere over the shelter's compound. As Uncle Yu, Chunlei, and Liang Yu approached Zhang Yi, Chunlei asked, "Boss, what's the plan now? After this wave of testing, I can basically conclude that the Corpse King is not among the Corpse Tide, but he can still control the movements of the Corpse Tide." Zhang Yi said this as he inserted a hidden camera inside the left eye in the only zombie left alive. He then continued, "The main purpose of these zombies is not to destroy us, but to collect our information and then pass it back to the Corpse King. If things continue like this, once they have completely mastered our combat skills, I'm afraid a real large force will soon follow. So we must take the initiative to do things and cannot follow their rhythm." A cruel smile crept on his lips as he explains this. After he finished the insertion, Zhang Yi released the zombie. "Let this guy help us investigate what is deep in the subway." Hearing this, Liang Yu asked, "Do you mean to investigate the situation deep in the subway and then find an opportunity to destroy the zombies' lair? If there is a suitable opportunity, of course, we will do it right away. After all, the best defense is offense and we need to strike first." Zhang Yi then gave the zombie a good kick, sending him flying as he said this. "Next, let's wait and see how much good news this little fellow of ours can bring us." When the group got inside, everyone gathered at the lounging hall. Zhang Yi turned on the television to watch the surveillance footage. And when he did just that, the scene displayed was as expected. The number of zombies underground were unfathomable. Chunlei covered his mouth in horror when he saw this. How many zombies are there underground? Hearing this, Uncle Yu told Chunlei to just imagine how many people died in Tianhai City. Then he will understand. This made things even worse as Chunlei began to tremble all over doing just that. He questioned whether all the dead people in Tianhai City will really turn into zombies. If that's the case, then what about them? Yang Xinshin folded her arms and said that it is not possible to make that judgment yet. The reason being that the virus also needs to be parasitic for a corpse to turn into a zombie. However, if time passes long enough, she believes this day will not be too far away. Indeed, there are too many dead people in Tianhai City. Even if we recover various corpses in advance, it is impossible to recover all the more than 10 million corpses. Zhang Yi added and continued that they need to solve the situation from the source right away. Zhang Yi told everyone about the need to kill the source, which was the Corpse King. Killing the Corpse King will save us a lot of trouble. At that moment, Zhang Yi's eyes widen in shock as he spots a distinctive figure among the horde. And from the looks of it, it really wasn't hard to tell that that was definitely the Corpse King. What is this? On the screen, the creepiest and most spine-chilling smile was on display as the Corpse King seems to have noticed the hidden camera. Zhang Yi immediately got up from the sofa knowing full well that they'd been discovered. But he calmed down seconds later realizing that everything they initially discussed was accurate. There was indeed a Corpse King manipulating everything from the shadows, and now they know exactly where to find him. At that moment, Chunlei asked Zhang Yi with a puzzled look. "Boss, how can we kill that zombie king? We all saw the number of zombies underground were too many to even think of. So even when we go in there to clean them up fully armed, we don't know if we can or how long it will take to do so." Yang Xinshin also added, reminding Zhang Yi that the subways were all over Tianhai City. And the Corpse King also has wisdom and will run away when he finds out that something is wrong. Zhang Yi agreed with Yang Xinshin, emphasizing that if they had to do it, they need to do it once and for all with no slip-ups. He then sat back on the sofa and continued that as long as they want to kill them, no matter how many they are, it won't be a problem. But they must prevent them from escaping. And they have to start with the subway. Liang Yu suggested they start from Songzhuang and blow up the tunnel there. This will also block the retreat of the horde. Our goal is just to kill the zombie king, as long as it can't run away. As for other zombies, we have many ways to eliminate them. Uncle Yu turned to Zhang Yi and said, "Zhang Yi, it's up to you to come up with an idea on what to do. Anyway, this battle is unavoidable." Zhang Yi replied for everyone to get ready. They'll take action tomorrow. Hearing this, Chunlei panicked, so he asked Zhang Yi, "Boss, why are you so anxious? This isn't your style." Chunlei then got closer to Zhang Yi and continued that they should be cautious. What if something happens underground? After all, we still don't know much about the situation underground. Maybe we underestimated the fighting power of the zombie swarm. Hearing this, Zhang Yi told Chunlei not to worry. He won't make fun of everyone's life and safety. Then Chunlei's voice dropped to a whisper, and with a devious expression, asked Zhang Yi, "Boss, why are you doing this so mysteriously? Can't you tell us directly?" Zhang Yi replied that what Chunlei needs to know is that if he encounters a dangerous situation underground, then Zhang Yi, will help him escape, so he should be at ease. Hearing this, Liang Yu told them that she understands if that becomes the case. But if it isn't, then they have nothing to worry about, right? At that moment, it seems that it was decided. So Yang Min got up and with a warm smile, tells everyone that she was going to prepare some energy-replenished food for them. Okay, the more the merrier. Zhang Yi said this, pleased to hear that Yang Min had taken the initiative already without being told. The scene then shifts to Radiant Prosperity Base. And from the looks of the situation at present, the base had successfully defeated another wave of zombies. However, Xiao Honglian was visibly exhausted. She told her assistant, Zhuge Qingting, that they cannot sit still and wait for death. If the situation continues, then, within a month, they will have to abandon the refinery and go underground to avoid the endless tide of corpses. At that moment, a soldier reported that all the zombies have been cleaned up. Also, they discovered that if the zombies are burned, they die completely. However, they also lost 67 soldiers, including their ordinary workers as well. Hearing this made Xiao Honglian decide to change their style of play. They can't passively defend all the time. Zhuge Qingting replied with a question, asking if Xiao Honglian intends to take the initiative to go to the zombies' lair. Yes, the zombies' actions are obviously controlled by someone. We must obtain enough intelligence to know how to completely resolve this crisis. But Zhuge Qingting warns her about the severity of the plan. It was too dangerous, and they had no idea how big the swarm of corpses were. If Xiao Honglian rushes to investigate, her entire army may be wiped out. It's better to wait and see for a while. Maybe the other forces can solve this problem. However, looking at the scattered corpses, Xiao Honglian told Zhuge Qingting to take a closer look at the scale of this zombie tide. I don't think they're taking it easy as you think. I believe they're experiencing the same difficulty as us, especially the snow worship sect. Those idiots actually gathered tens of thousands of people, just collecting lunch for the zombies. She then got up and continued, "We can't rely on anyone. And it's obvious they will want us to perish in this ordeal. If we can't rely on them, we have to rely on ourselves. But I do agree with your cautiousness, so we will approach it this way. Dong, who will take 2 mutants and 30 elite soldiers to the zombies' lair to investigate." Hearing this, Zhuge Qingting said nothing but nodded in agreement. Meanwhile, at the Snow Worship Sect's headquarters, specifically their church, a fellow member gave Zhang Yixin a damage assessment. The report made Zhang Yixin's face turn very sour. The number of dead members of the congregation has reached more than 1,000. Those infected members may also mutate. The new arrivals had their faith seriously shaken. If this continues, something will happen. Hearing this, Zhang Yixin responded that it doesn't matter. The members just have some complaints and don't dare to take any substantive actions. In the past few days, Zhang Yixin had made arrangement for some of their people to spread news among the congregation, telling them that almost all the survivors in the outside world have been killed by zombies. Without the protection of the Snow Worship Sect, they have no chance to fight back when the zombies attack.